All right, good people. So we need to talk 23 is back, and joining me today is now since we started this group, the Black Podcast Conglomerate. I'll say two of my sisters from the group, the
Ooh,
Ladies Lair. How you doing this afternoon?
yeah.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
Yes. Thank you for having us.
No, thank you all for coming on. It's been trying to get some new guests on, and when I got invited to the group, they gave me some new people to interview. I don't feel like recycling people yet.
There
So
you go.
Yeah, too many out there to have to recycle already.
A
uh,
lot. There's a lot of us.
yeah, but no, it worked out great, when Ken invited me in. So perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, but I mean, we got to know a lot of people that we actually weren't following either. So it was nice that way too. Because I don't think we were following you.
No.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. So that was nice. Yeah.
Trust me, it was a shock when he invited me in because
Oh.
I wasn't following him, and I forgot how I got in contact with him and Dell. And I think the
Yeah.
first time I spoke to either one of them was through the versus battles that they did.
Oh
Oh
Lord.
God. Oh Lord, this competitiveness that they have going
Like
on.
it's real.
It-
Oh, it
it's
really
fun. It's a lot of fun though.
it is. We're supposed to be on it. Oh shit! I think we're supposed to be on Wednesday. My bad. I forgot about that.
Like
Yeah.
you're really jamming my week up here, Simone.
I know. I really am though. This is the podcast life, okay?
Yeah, always tough. You have to be ready to go in a moment's notice.
It's true. It's true. No,
So,
but I know. I'm glad that Ken brought everybody together this way. It's
oh,
nice.
definitely.
Yeah.
So for my guests or for the people that don't know you, who is the Ladies Lair?
Well, this is Christy, and that's
I'm Simone.
and we are the Ladies Lair. We're really, really good friends. We are both from New York. We're hairstylists, and we have an amazing friendship, and we just felt like everyone should be a part of it. And here
Yes.
we are, hanging out in the lair. We talk about sex, love, relationships, drinking, more sex, and just
Right.
life shit. And then there's sex.
Oh God, we just like to keep it real. We just bring what our life experiences into this and show everybody, that they're not struggling. They're not the only ones struggling. We are
Yeah.
too. Okay.
And you
This
can
is
have
like-
fun while having a hard time. Like
Yes, exactly. Right.
that's the key.
There it is. That's
Mhm.
finding that balance between the two,
Mm,
and to keep
yeah.
from going completely crazy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because yeah, we would probably go crazy without each other.
No fact.
The bond we've made in 2020 was even better than the bond we've had for the last
Before.
8 years that we know each other.
Mm.
Like, so 2020 has been a shitty year. It was a shitty year, I should say, but granted, it helped us a lot,
Yeah.
with everything else, and then it brought us here to meet new people, like, so hey,
Like
can't
literally.
really complain.
If we don't talk to each other all day, it's just like, what's happening? Are you okay? Like my life sucks today. Why are you not talking to me?
So when did you all start your podcast?
We started it in October of 2020.
Okay.
Yes. Yes. So yeah, your situations happened in the middle of 2020, and then we were sitting there crying and laughing and crying for hours one day, and this one goes, we should do a podcast. I'm like, shit, why don't we? What's wrong? Like, hello. And the rest is history. I mean, it just like spiraled. I don't know what happened. Everybody loves us. I mean, because we're awesome.
There's that.
There is that. Yes, I mean, and I guess because we just keep it real. We literally are these people. We are fun. We of course have our days, but we're this, and we just have a good time, and we want everybody else to have a good time with us. That's
Yeah,
it.
that's literally all it is. It's like we're trying to think of ways to like incorporate everyone joining us on our good times. So
Right.
hopefully we'll be traveling, making short trips, and we're gonna include people on those little trips.
Yes. Yeah.
No, nothing wrong with that at all. So
Yeah.
in the beginning, did you all have your platform set up, or was it you're just going to go into it and see what what comes out of it? Like for example, my first couple of episodes, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was it was just, let me try this and see what happens. So did you all have a format set up, or did you all just kind of wing it?
It was pretty much winging it.
Yeah, we kind of wing it. Like all of our conversations are like organic conversations. They're conversations that we'd normally have. We don't really worry about what's trending, what everyone's doing. We just kind of like, if we feel like it's something that we want to talk about, we talk about it. Like, we're not doing the what's happening on social media conversations. Like, we literally just talk about things that matter to us, because I don't care what celebrity just got busted cheating, or we don't give a fuck about that shit. Like, that shit happens. That shit happens to us in real life. Like, let's talk about our situation.
Let's talk about that. Right.
Yeah. So we literally just, whatever's important to us is what we talk about.
Mm-hmm.
That's good to hear, because I do the same thing, and I get people asking me, well, how come you don't talk about this? And I'm like, I don't really care.
No, nobody cares. There's so much. Social media is huge, and there's so many platforms that you could get that. So why be a part of that too? Like, we want to be as different as possible.
Yeah.
No.
And it's just like, we don't talk about those things with each other in real life, because I don't care. Like, these people have millions of dollars. Like, I'm over here trying to get thousands to get to the millions. I'm not worried about.
I know the repo man coming to get my goddamn Bentley. The fuck?
Like, we don't care about those things. It's just like, oh wow, that's great. That's crazy. That happened.
Right. Cool. All right. I'll go to the shape, whatever that room is.
Right.
I'm not gonna give them, some thing. Sorry, we're taking shots.
We're taking shots.
I'll join you all.
Yeah. Woo, woo. I love when people take shots with us.
So if you guys, your people don't know, we are the girls who we're always drinking. Like,
we're not alcoholics, we promise.
We're not alcoholics. It's just fun.
Right.
We don't need meetings just yet. So we always take shots of tequila.
Yes. So whenever you guys are ready.
And it's happy hour too, so.
Always.
It really is. So. Always. Cheers. Thank you for having us.
No.
Woo.
I'm fighting with this bottle. Let's go to this one is open already.
You got the bar behind you. Look at you. Right?
Hey, I got talked into using this as my setup, because, like I said in the beginning,
it's cool. It's a good vibe.
I was sitting on my couch, and my wife was like, "Why do you have this whole bar over there? Why don't you use that as your background?"
I'm here for it.
She's correct.
She's a smart lady.
She is very smart. Okay. How long you been married? 10 years, right?
This year make 10 years.
Yes, that's right. Yes. Oh, that's awesome.
At one point, I didn't think I was gonna make it, but
dude,
she held on to me. And
hey, listen, nobody wants that single life, okay?
Listen, it is hard out here.
The grass is not greener on the other side. That shit is straight mud. It's dirty.
Yes, I've heard a couple of your episodes when you were talking about dating in 2020 or 2021, and
listen,
yes,
it's no joke.
It's no joke at all. You don't understand. Oh, God.
So let me take my shot so you all don't think I'm not on y'all already.
Yes, no, thank you. Gotta, take it down. Look, he took it down like a champ.
Like a champ.
So with your platform and everything that you all talk about, have you all received any backlash or anything from family?
Oh, that's a great question. Not yet, actually. No. I'm kind of always nervous about that.
Yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it too, but I don't think that, first of all, I'm grown. So let's start there.
There is that.
So even if they do have comments, people know, like, I don't care. So if it's kind of like one of those things, like, if you don't like the show, don't tune in.
Yeah.
Or if you don't like the show, change the channel, like that type of vibe. So
yes, no, it's true. I mean, only one of my older brother follows us, and he'll just like randomly like laugh at something that we put on the stories or something, and I'm like, oh god, I forgot you were following us. Oh geez. And it'll be about like something crazy, because when I put in stories are always insane, of course.
Always pretty. Yeah.
I find some great things on the internet. I swear I love the internet. But it'll be like something like, oh, nut in my face kind of a shit. He'll laugh, and I'm like, oh God, Michael, why?
Because like we forget that just because they are family, they have sexuality too, and they
do. It's just gross.
I'm like, I know. I think that this should be an episode about the whole siblings thing. I definitely think this should be a conversation.
Yeah,
we'll talk about it later, but I'm thinking about it.
Oh God, no, but we haven't, which is great. I think I'm actually more, since, I don't know if you've listened to episodes, my husband passed away. Yeah. So I'm kind of more worried about his family going in and looking at stuff and judging me, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
I could totally understand that.
Yes, because actually his best friend follows us, and he's very cool. Actually, he'll like text me like, "Oh my God, I love that episode you did last week," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks." Like, oh, wait till you see the next week's one. Oh, cause yeah. But it's nice to, I guess, everybody's supporting, which I'm glad about. But I think yeah, I'm very more so worried about them judging than my family judging, actually. Yeah.
So with that, do you all, and I'm assuming, at least from what I'm hearing from you all now and what I've heard in your episodes, not that you're looking for anyone's family, friends, whatever's approval, but when you get the thumbs up or that text message saying great episode, how does that make you feel?
Oh, amazing. Like we're doing something right.
Yeah. Because I always, like, when I meet new people, I'm like, the people are always like, oh, what are you doing? You're not working. I'm like, I got this little podcast thing that I do. Like, oh my God, let me see. And I'm just like, okay. So I'm sliding them an episode. And they're like, oh my God. At first, they're like, we try and do like a 30-minute spot. We try not to pass 35 minutes just because it's just a comfortable number for us. Okay. And everyone's like, you guys were so funny. I'm like, I know. But like, it was great content. I'm like, because to us, like, I'm very hard on myself. So before we like put something out every week, I'm just like, girl, I'm not really loving this episode we recorded. And then we'll rewatch it. I'm like, oh my God, this was so good. So then when I get other people to watch it and they give the same feedback, I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'm just overthinking it too much.
Always overthinking. I'm on social media. She is like all the topics, she's running the behind the scenes kind of a thing. So I could understand her being,
yeah, because I want to make sure that I'm creating good conversations, you know?
Yes.
You'll be surprised at what is good content, because I mean, with everything going on, like I said, especially with 2020 and the shit that we're still going through now.
Yeah.
People need an escape. So the things that we think wouldn't be good content, it's just like those are the things that everybody latches on to, and just
it's true. Yeah. I mean, even I go on and I listen to a lot of different podcasts because I want to know, like, get an escape from everything and know what they're talking about too. So it's nice that way. So I'm glad people will come to us and, use us as that. Because, I mean, we are pretty
break from reality.
Yeah, it's true. Reality sucks sometimes.
Big time.
Oh, God.
Well, just let you all know, you all do have great content. And I will say, out of the group, I think I have listened to all of your episodes since I started following you all.
Hey. Yes, thank you. Because we've been listening to yours. Okay. I try to like put everybody's out. Like I'm listening. Sometimes I'm just forget because I'm just listening. I'm like just in it. Like I go rapid fire with my shit.
I don't know how she does that. Like after like one or two, I'm just like, okay, I'm good for the week. I'll check in again next week.
Oh God, no, I'm rapid fire with the 8 hours in kind of a shit. I know. So then I forget what I've been listening to. I'm like, wait, did I even listen to that episode yet?
I listened to a couple other people in the group, and and you all's content is just, that's more my alley. And I'm not all of the content is good. Don't get me wrong, because I don't want anybody to see this and like, who the hell are he talking about? But I would just say, like, what what you all are putting out there, I really enjoy listening to. Because I think when people see me and listen to the podcast, I think for some reason a lot of people take me as being really serious.
Yes.
And I said I'm very far from that. It's just,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not a talkative person. The podcast is helping me become more talkative.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what it happens? I feel like, because who you see is who me and Simone are, just naturally. But I think I'm very a behind the scenes type of person. Okay. Being a hairstylist, I'm used to being seen and not heard, meaning that you see my work, but you never see the person behind the work. Yeah. So this is kind of like, okay.
That was good.
So this is kind of like forcing me to like put myself in a place of being uncomfortable. Yeah. And for you to grow, you have to be a little uncomfortable sometimes. So I don't mind talking about sex or talking about, someone's forcing me to always want to say my age, and my age doesn't bother me. I just don't think it's anyone's business.
But you look good for your fucking age. That's why.
Because being 40 years old and, finding my sexuality at this age and dating at this age, it's a lot. And sometimes, women, instead of we talk about it, women have a thing of just bickering and niggas ain't this and niggas ain't that. Oh, stop it. Like a lot of some of the stuff is us, and it's okay for us to own our shit.
Yeah. It's true.
And grow from it. But if you always blaming somebody else and not realizing I might be the fucking problem,
It's absolutely true. But my thing is, see, I forget her age all the time. Like if I'm dating or seeing a 40-something, I'm like, this old ass nigga, and I'm like, oh my bad. Like I forget that you're in this range. But and then I'm like, hi. Like, right? She's like, well, 40. And I'm like, bitch, you're like 30. Calm down. Like you're my age. What are you talking about?
All my friends do the same thing. I'm like, okay, you're dating a 42-year-old guy. I'm like, it's not really old. They're like, you're not old, but he is. I'm like,
yeah, exactly. Like, hello. Come on.
I feel the same way, because I always tell people that I was the guy in high school. Well, I say coming out of middle school, I had the beard and all of this stuff. So I always looked older. And I tell people, I said, well, shit, I looked old back then. And I said, I still look exactly the same now. I said, but the people, and I'm 42. But I said the people
you look good for 42.
Yeah, I said, but the people that that used to talk shit when we were in middle school, they look old as hell, and I still look exactly.
Listen,
it's true. There you go. Black don't be cracking.
Listen, that melanin is a funny thing, honey.
Okay, shoot.
This beard is very impressive, I must tell you, by the way.
Listen, she's not a beard person.
I'm not a beard person.
I love beards. So I see you the first time with that battle thing. I was like, oh, this beard. I love beards. Oh my God.
This beard is quite impressive. Because it's not like big this way. It's like,
yes, it's just long.
It's just what it needs to do.
It's the salt and pepper thing that gets me too.
I told people I could never dye it. I said I impressed myself. I said
no,
it's very distinguished.
Yes, exactly.
Very silver foxy.
Woo.
I said I think it's been what 5 years since I cut it. That's the last time.
Wow.
5 years.
Yeah, no. Don't touch it. Leave it alone. Does wifey like it?
She's the reason that I kept it.
Yes. You see? That's my woman.
Look at you blushing and shit.
Oh, because I told her, I said, with all of this, I said, with my name, I said, I look like a terrorist. And I don't mean that in an offensive way. I'm just saying with my name, with my first and my middle name, when they see it on my license or anything, and I said, see the beard, it's just like, are you sure? And I'm like, no, I'm not Muslim. I'm not Muslim. I was born here, but
right. Oh man.
So I've gone through it, but
I understand that. Yeah, no, but it's still good. Fuck it. You could go through a little trauma for it.
As long as the wife loves it, hey, I'm cool.
That's all that's important. You keep her happy.
Yes, please. Wifey, what is it? Happy wife, happy life. There we go.
There we go.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Wait, so
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say. So you guys been married 10 years, right? How long have you guys been together fully?
With or without the breaks.
No,
Oh,
I always count breaks. Breaks
Um,
happen.
we never we I moved to the DC area in '03, and that's when I met her. So about 18 years now.
Wow.
okay.
Oh my God. How's the sex still?
Same, still good. Hey,
Don't look at me like that. You don't talk
great.
about sex.
Hey,
Yes, good.
I
You have to
told
keep
her
it
I'm
spicy.
gonna keep going till I can't go.
So
Yes.
how do you guys, after being together for 18 years, keep it exciting?
Yes. That's a long time.
Not. I think our and I believe in the whole thing with the astrology, the signs, and all that stuff. I just think
Me too.
are really compatible. I'm an Aquarius and she's a Cancer, so
Oh.
so we talk a lot about stuff, and it took me a while to open up to her, only because I'm really really guarded. I
Mm,
know I heard on one
All Aquarius men are, honey.
mm, mm.
I know I heard on one of your episodes.
It's
One of you,
exhausting.
one of you is West Indian. Who's West Indian? Oh, okay, so then you understand, and my family's from Guyana.
Okay.
And I told her, I always tell them, I said the way I grew up was, men don't talk a lot and all that type.
Yeah.
So for me to meet someone that I could talk to and be who the hell I am,
Mm.
so that's how we keep it spicy after 18 years. 'Cause, you get some people talking about, don't you get tired? No.
No, he sounds just like Jeremy. Like the conversation
Right.
turns them on.
This is so interesting that the men who have been in longer relationships are saying stuff like saying that, men they're not saying like, oh, role play. They're like, oh, conversation is what's
Conversation
keeping
is
our
what.
relationship spicy. I'm just like,
Oh, no, no.
what?
We can role play too now. Don't get me wrong, but
Oh no, of course, but
But
conversation.
like the first, like, because Jeremy's
first
been
date.
married, Life Unplugged, he's been married for 24 years.
Yeah, I heard that.
And he said the same thing. He was like, literally, it's just, the conversation when they spend like a long day together and then they can go home and have like a great night afterwards. And in my mind, I've never been married, but I've been in like long-term relationships. I would think like there'd be a different answer besides like, we can talk. I'm like, that's just really
No.
impressive to me from a man's point of view. And
From
it's
a
the
man-
second time I'm hearing it, so.
Well,
No, that's awesome.
sorry. Once I learned how to talk, it made it easier.
Right.
Because before it was don't express this, don't express that. And I said on Del P show when I was talking, I said I was always taught to hold my emotions in. So the first time I cried in front of my wife, it was just like, well, fuck it, she's who I'm supposed to be. But if I could cry in front of her,
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, nothing else is out of bounds,
Yeah.
and then my wife is 6 years younger than me, so.
Oh, nice. Oh, that gives me hope, kind of.
You're annoying.
I'm just saying. Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I just want to say something. I dated a Guyanese guy when I was 16, and his thing was huge. I have to get it out there. I'm sorry. I know.
Yo, she talks about this Guyanese guy. We need to figure out what his name is so we can find him again. Because there might be a reason why you keep on going back to this man.
It was so like I mean, holy crap! And he was skinny as hell. I mean, I didn't expect it. First of all, I shouldn't have been having sex at 16. That's besides the point. But it was
let's
real.
start there.
Let's start there. But also, he was crazy. Oh, my man's. Oh my God.
People just have a little more fire in us. That's all.
Oh,
a little bit.
Yeah, he had a lot of fire. Like almost threw me down the stairs, kind of fire. Like that's the fighting we were doing at that age. Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
This is a different conversation.
It's a different conversation. It's very protective. That's what I've learned from Guyanese men, so I stayed away from them. Just saying. Okay.
That's not
right. I'm like, oh.
I'm really reserved, so.
You seem it.
So people
yes.
tell me, say, well, you're undercover crazy. There's nothing crazy about it.
Yeah, people tell me the same thing. I get those. So when you say that, people judge you and they think like, oh, you're so serious. I get that all the time too. But it's just like, that's what I give you when I don't want you in. Like, I don't, like, that's my protective thing. Like, that's just for me to save it for who I want to give it to.
Yeah.
This is very interesting because you guys, so I feel like I'm the talkative one.
Mhm.
And I've been hearing a lot that I'm not talking enough about how I feel about stuff. So that's funny that you say that. Like, you guys are so reserved and you're getting that. And I'm very talkative, but I actually don't give anything either.
But you don't talk about your feelings like that.
I never do. I know.
But because you're like,
understand that.
But I think that's your way of protecting yourself. Like, you
Oh,
don't
absolutely.
like you make everything fun and silly.
Yes.
Before when once you start to feel, you're just like, oh, this is getting crazy. Let's talk about that big thing from yesterday.
Let's run this way, right? It's so true. The guy today, he was talking about it. I'm just like, I don't want to go into this conversation.
Sometimes you just gotta do it, honey.
I mean, I did. Luckily,
yes.
But I'm taking a shot for that because that conversation. Oh Lord, niggas be crazy.
While you're pouring your shot, have you ever been told that you play too much?
Oh, all the time. Oh my God. Oh, that's not a good thing, right?
I get that. My wife, because I will find, because for me, I'm always looking for the silver lining in every day.
Yes.
So for me, I like to laugh. My wife will say, do you ever take anything serious? And I'm like, I do when I need to. I said,
right, but does this have to be serious right now? Yeah, it's true.
I want to have fun. I'll be serious.
I mean, this is my thing. I don't like confrontation either. So I would rather us laugh this off. Let's talk about something else. Unless it's a serious conversation. If it's not, then why are we arguing about, all right, the dishes are in there. I'm not going to argue with you about it. Fuck it. Forget it. All right. I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. It's exhausting. Okay. Like there's the little things. I'm just like, whatever. Fuck it. Okay. And now even this, guys. Cheers. Leslie, why are you off?
I'm taking a shot because I spilled something. Fucking pouring my tequila. I can't have you watching me move around. Gosh.
Oh my gosh. You know I gotta put you on blast. My bad.
Oh my goodness. Jeez. I took my shot because I'm over myself for spilling my drink.
Good.
You know how I feel about spilling alcohol.
No, I know. We cannot waste no alcohol.
I used to throw the most amazing parties. So if you're at a Christy Stone event and you spill your fucking drink, you're done drinking for the night.
Oh shit. Well, I feel the same way. Wasted alcohol is a problem.
Yeah, if you spill a drink, you're done drinking. You're drunk. Goodbye.
Yeah.
You're drinking water for the rest of the night.
Listen,
literally,
go ahead.
You have to ask me if you can drink again. I'm dead serious. Like, no, you're done. You're cut off.
I had a whole bottle of this tequila, but in a gold. And I didn't want to drink anymore. I had only a little bit left. And I'm like, I'm going to throw this shit away. She's like, you better save that shit for me when I get there. Do not throw that away.
I am going to drink it.
Like, I don't want it in my freezer.
I'm drinking it. Did I not drink it when I got there?
You did.
Drank the whole thing.
I kept it. Is that Casamigos?
Terramana.
Terramana, okay.
Yeah. We're trying to get a sponsorship, so we're not even talking about them anymore. Because we want to get paid for this shit.
So many people start drinking it because of us. I'm like, I need a fucking check. Yeah. I need to hashtag The Rock every time we fucking drink the shit.
Right, because we drink it a lot, and I mean it's great tequila. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, we need some money.
I need a check.
Oh my gosh!
So what do you two do for like me time when it's, you know, when you either feel overwhelmed with everyday life with the podcast or whatever? What do you do to, I guess, to recharge?
You want to go first?
I love to like pamper myself. I love getting my nails done. I love getting pedicures. I love getting massages. So that's my big me thing. Like when my mom passed away, like that's how I really like just took care of myself. Like just anything that's gonna make me feel pretty is what I would do. Because I feel like if I look good out here, something inside is gonna start to mend and feel a little bit better. My sister was like, that's crazy. But I'm like, that's my me time. Like I love to spend time with myself at the nail salon. I'll be there for hours, like 5 hours, and I'm happy.
Mm-hmm. So this is a great question because it'll show you how different we are. My me time is literally sitting there with my pajamas on underneath the covers. I know. Like off social media, first of all, social media becomes so fucking much.
Wormhole.
And literally, I have my work, I have this podcast, and then you have social media. Like that's how it is. Like social media literally takes over your entire life. So sometimes I would literally sit there and just like, not to even turn my phone off, but just turn it down and like just turn it over, like don't answer the phone kind of a thing, and just be under the covers watching whatever is on TV, mostly cartoons or something. Like that is my recharge thing, like not going on the phone and just laying there. I don't know why. I love it. I did it today and it was great. I feel so recharged.
Really?
I really do. I took a 3-hour nap and I feel amazing.
Girl, I was trying to catch that nap, but
like, yeah, that's my recharge. I mean, but she is very more the beauty person. I'll like throw on makeup when I want to. She's like, no, I'm gonna laying here all day, but there's gonna be some kind of makeup on. Like I'm still gonna look good laying
I'm gonna
here.
look good. I need to put on
like,
some mascara.
Like, bitch, nobody see these dark circles. I don't care. Like I don't care. She's like, and even if I'll call her and she's like, I'm sorry, I look a mess. I'm like, bitch, I don't care. I look a mess. Do you see this? What the fuck? Like I don't care. Like
you know what it is? I had a client tell me one morning, because the salon that we used to work in, our morning started at 6:30. Like we're in the salon by 6 o'clock. So my first class is 6:30 in the morning. And at 6:30 in the morning, you're gonna get this. I'm all dressed up, I'm in heels, full glam. And you know, your clients are dragging ass. I literally had a client tell me one day, a couple of clients actually said that to me, like, you motivate me to wanna look good and feel good in the morning because you look good. So it was just like, you know, I never thought about it like that. I was just like,
yeah,
okay.
No, it's true. She always told me like that. Always.
Yeah. And even when my mom was in the hospital and she had really bad days and she's laying there and she couldn't do much, I'm like, I'm going to go buy you a dress. We're going to clean you up. We're going to make you smell good, freshen you up, and you're going to feel a little bit better. And she'd be like, you know what, Chris? It did work. I do feel a little bit better, even though you physically still feel not so great. But if you look good outside, everything else is going to come.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my own thing, just because it's like I've had a whole lot of really bad days where I can't get out the bed, not because I didn't want to, it's just I physically didn't know how to. And even if I'm gonna lay here, I want to lay here and just look as best as possible, you know?
Right.
That would slowly be my motivation to want to get up. Yeah,
mind you, when at 6 o'clock in the morning, she was coming in looking good. I was putting my makeup on at about like 9. I brought my makeup with me. Like, fuck this shit. I'm tired. I'm like, all right, I have a break. Let me put my makeup on now. Like, oh shit. She was definitely, you were definitely the motivation though. Cause I would not have put makeup on if it wasn't for you. I was like,
I can't be sitting. I started telling me that, and I'm just like, because we don't realize as just, you know, a service worker, that's what they claim hairstylists are, the impact that we have on our clients, you know, and the impact that they can in turn have on us. If I come in with a bad attitude and a bad day, that energy is going to transfer to someone else. Yeah. So my goal is I don't want that bad energy on me. I'm going to try my best to make this 45 minutes, an hour, the best that this person's going to have today, because they probably need the help of picking their day up. So if I look like shit, guess what? That's gonna make them feel like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why would I let this girl do my hair and she looks terrible? Like, you know what I mean?
No, it's true. I mean, this is why even us wearing masks, I put makeup on still now. I'm like, all right, I know. I like you're gonna at least see this area.
You're gonna get these eyes.
Right, you're gonna get these eyes. For reals, all right? I'm gonna look good somewhere. All right? You ain't gonna look at this lipstick, but you're gonna see these eyes.
You're gonna get these eyes.
Same way, but we, like for me, you all do makeup. Like for me, I do cologne and oils and all that stuff.
Yes.
I'm going to the gym, whatever the case is. My wife will laugh, talking about, why the hell are you putting on cologne to go to the gym? I'm like, shit, it gotta smell good.
Hello. Mm-hmm. While this air is coming off me, I gotta perforate the air and smell good.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I would be saying the same thing, like, who you going to the gym to see with your nice cologne on? The fuck?
I cannot.
That would be me.
that definitely would be you.
Yes.
I'm like, damn, baby, you smell good.
So what's your go-to cartoon then, since you brought up cartoons?
Ooh, okay. So it's more cartoonish movies, and my go-to one for lately, for some reason, has been Inside Out. I love that movie. It's either that or Moana. Like, I know. I know you love Moana. For some reason, it's been those two. I don't know why. And actually, last week it was Home Alone, the Home Alone series. I was watching all
Love it.
first every day, right? And now this week it's been either Inside Out or Moana. Like literally back to like I don't.
Why is Moana so good? Like
So
I cried the first time I watched it.
I know. I luckily. I mean, I'm surprised I didn't cry because I cry for everything.
Cried. I don't know if it was the grandma passing away and saying when she comes back she wants to be like I felt it in my heart.
I can't. It was really cute. I know.
But,
yeah.
You all opened up. I was gonna say the funny thing is my go-to is Looney Tunes. I love the old Looney Tunes, not the new one.
No. Animaniacs. Pinky
oh my God, Animaniacs was my shit.
They have it on Hulu. Yes. I definitely watched it when it came back on. I was like, yes.
So good.
Katie Kaboom. That's what you gotta look for.
Kaboom. Man. Oh, that was such a great time. Like,
listen, cartoons now can never touch back in the day. Like,
no.
My son is 19 now, so I made sure, like, when he was growing up, like, he was a throwback cartoon junkie. Like,
yes,
he did not like anything that was current. Like, he wants to watch, like, I'll go in his room sometimes now. You know what he's in there watching sometimes? The old X-Men that used to come on Saturday morning.
Yes, I did watch it too.
He is such a throwback, and I fucking love it. I'll be looking like, yo, Christy, you did something right, girl.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. And I know, like, right now they're like coming at like a lot of these cartoons that happen. They're like, oh, it was like sexual or it was abusive, and I'm just like, these were cartoons. Like, let's not get that deep into it, please.
Canceling cartoons, like,
come on, like, they're taking one of the people out of the new Space Jam thing, like literally a cartoon because of this. Like, are we serious right now?
No, people are so busy. I hate to sound like this person. People are so busy overthinking everything, but they're over sexualizing so many of these shows that they put on TV for these fucking kids to watch.
What's wrong with your mind that you're thinking about that? Right. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm just saying, like, because we weren't thinking about that. I wasn't thinking, oh my God, a guy's gonna sit there and if he's overly trying to get me, oh, he must be trying to rape me. No, I wasn't thinking
All I was
that,
thinking, like, oh my God, he's so attracted to the other skunk. Like, he just wants to kiss
like,
her.
hello, what the fuck? I'm sorry, we ran on a whole rant right now.
I love Puppy Love You.
Yeah,
like, it was just, oh God, it's just, I mean, they were so good. Like,
I just thought that he was really into Fifi. That's all.
Right. I don't understand it, but it's whatever, Like, anyway, yes, the 90s cartoons were the best thing ever.
You know what was my shit though? The Last Airbender with Aang. I didn't like the newer one.
I remember the name, but I don't remember the cartoon.
Oh my God, The Last Airbender was so good. Yeah, I didn't care for the newer one with the girl Avatar. It was amazing. It's on Netflix, so if you guys want to check it out, it's phenomenal.
My son watch it, so when they watch it, I might walk past it.
It's so good.
How old are your kids?
I have a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
That 9-year-old rough.
Wait, because how is having sex like with the kids in the house? They must be cock blocking. Like, I mean,
I'll tell you this much. The funny thing is, my wife will kill me for this later, but my 9-year-old, like, the way our house is set up, the master bedroom is downstairs and all of the other rooms are upstairs.
Yes.
The bad part is our youngest son, his room is right over ours.
Oh.
But then the funny thing is, one night we were talking, and one thing led to another, and then the next morning my son was like, well, what was happening last night? I was like, what are you talking about? He was like, I heard mommy, and I was like, oh, we were just in the room cutting onions,
Boy, mind your goddamn business. Get out of here. How you think about here?
But the funnier part was that when because I'm always up first. It doesn't matter what time I go to sleep. I'm always the first one up. So I saw him the next morning, and then he was like, "Where's mommy?" I said, "Well, mommy's still asleep." So when my wife came upstairs, he asked her. He was like, "Mommy, are you okay? You know, Daddy said y'all were cutting the onions last night." So it's
great. Oh, goddamn kids, you know, like, oh man. I don't know what's better, the fact that you have an older kid that understands what's happening, so they mind their fucking business, or a young kid that doesn't know it. You're like, you could lie about it, kind of go around it, kind of a thing, you know.
Listen, they got about 2 more years left for that lie.
Oh, they really do. They really do. I mean, it's not gonna be their fault. It's gonna be the kids' fault that they go to school with. You know, because everybody's gonna be tired of talking about it. So you gotta have no choice at that point. Like, that's the problem. Oh, does he still believe? Is it him, right?
Yeah, all boy.
He still believes in Santa?
He does to a certain extent, but my 15-year-old is telling him, like, you know, Santa isn't real.
Of course. Of course.
Like, mommy and daddy buys these presents.
But that's such a great age, because Anaya was the same way. My daughter's 15. I think she stopped believing at like 11, and only because kids at school stopped telling her.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, I will let y'all know, I was that parent who never let my child believe in Santa because mommy works. No, I killed it. Santa does bring you things, but he brings you shitty things like socks. Mommy buys you great things.
I literally
Uncle Chucky and Uncle Jermaine buys you great things. Auntie Phyllis buys you great things. Granddad and Nana buys you great things. Santa brings you socks.
Oh my God.
Also, there was always a present from Santa, but know that mommy and the family gets you the great things.
Yeah, you Black Santa. I get it.
And then, so my son now, he's like, Mom, don't ruin it for other kids. I'm just like,
thank you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I worked too hard to let your life be what it is, to give some strange, random bearded man in a red suit my credit.
Some pervert thief coming down the chimney.
Exactly.
I mean, if you really think about it. All right, let's not cancel Santa now. Hold on.
Santa.
Let's not cancel Santa now, all right? Just because he flies down your chimney.
Uninvited.
Right.
Everyone gives me the most shit about it. Everyone's like, don't do it to my kid. I'm like, I would never do that to your child.
No, it's your child.
My child is going to know the truth. Santa is a great person. He is a giver. He is a carer. He makes sure, but he didn't bring you shit. He bought you socks.
And I feel the same way. And my wife said, you're not going to tell our youngest that. And I'm like, I want him to know the truth. I said, because I'm big into history. And I told my wife and I told my 2 older kids, I said, actually, if you look up the history of Santa was actually kind of a bad guy somewhat. I said, if you look it up, I said, there's 2 versions. I said, but if you look it up,
what?
Santa was a bad guy. If you look it up.
Okay, I did not know this.
Listen, my ex was a 5%er, and he went ham on giving me all this information about the whole. I was like, I don't believe in Santa in general, and now you just made the shit even worse.
I'm not gonna look it up. I don't want to ruin my childhood.
Don't look it up, because if you do, you're gonna be like, wow.
My brothers already ruined it for me. My brothers are the ones that ruined it and told me Santa wasn't real. Like, I heard them having a big conversation about it, so that I was already traumatized about it. So I'm not gonna fuck it up anymore.
He's totally right. There's 2 different stories about who Santa is, and it's just like,
the saint. They just chose to go with the good one, the Saint Nick, and all that.
Yes. I mean, I love the Santa movies.
What the fuck?
Tim Allen, he's awesome.
I'm surprised you got some kind of creepy Santa fetish.
I know, but it's Tim Allen. Come on. I mean, oh God, I have to stop watching Disney Plus. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's the Santa fetish in the back of a truck in the woods, correct?
Yes.
She is definitely.
So that way I'm proving to you that I listen.
Yes, he does listen.
He does, yes. It's funny because somebody wants her to go to the woods, and I was like, did they mix us up because I'm the wood person?
Right.
Like, oh, are they crazy?
Yeah.
That's
Like
me.
my friend, he's like, don't you? He's like, we should go camping. I'm like, I'm gonna sleep in the car. I'm not gonna sleep in a tent. He's like, no. I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna sleep in the tent. I'm like, you have the wrong friend if you want someone who's gonna like enjoy the whole camping woods. Like, that's not my fantasy at all.
I would love to. Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
Let me stop.
I've been traditional camping one time with my oldest son when he was in the Boy Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so ill prepared because in my head, I'm from the city, I'm from New Jersey, but in my head, I'm like, camping. I'm like, I don't know nothing about no damn camping. So I show up with a sleeping bag and, just one jacket. And I realized we're sleeping outside in a tent on the ground. Oh my God.
Cold as shit.
Yeah. I was like, you know what? This shit ain't for me.
This is not for a city nigga. Hell no. Oh my God. Now you definitely have to be prepared. See, I don't know if I would do the whole sleeping in a tent kind of a thing. I just want to be in the back of a car, have sex, and then leave the woods. That's fine. Like, I just want to be there for 2 hours, look at the stars and see how beautiful it is, and then leave. Like, I'm not scared of the bears or anything coming after me. I just don't want to be cold either in the woods. Yeah.
Can't.
I don't know.
Not do the whole wood firing thing or anything. No, I don't need all that.
He wants to do like the full camp experience, and I'm just like,
no.
I mean, I'll try almost.
I would love to do it
once.
too. Right? Yeah.
But it just seems like a lot of work to me.
Yes. Well, you don't have to do anything. The man will.
There's that too.
Exactly. Yeah, you could just sit there while we,
literally.
I tell my wife all the time. I said in the beginning of our relationship, I told her, I said, look, I grew up in the house with 6 women. I said, I can cook, I can do all that stuff. I was like, manual labor. I said, I didn't pump my first gas because in New Jersey and New York and stuff, we don't pump.
Yeah, you don't pump your own gas.
I know.
So I told her, I said, pumping gas, cutting grass, all that. I said, up north, grass is about this much. I'm like, I don't know nothing about mowing lawns and getting my hands dirty. Because my wife makes fun of me, said, your hands are really soft. I never did manual labor. Shit. I said,
you don't have to.
I learned how to cook, do all that other shit. I said, but as time went on, I learned. But if you go camping, just know the man is going to do everything, setting up the tent,
right,
fire, all that shit.
I already told him that that's all his stuff. Like, I'll hold the dog on a leash or some shit like that. Like, but I'm not like doing anything else.
No, I would sit here and look pretty. Because first of all, I have nails. Right.
There's that.
Because if I break a nail, it's a fucking problem.
You're gonna pay for them to get fixed.
It's a problem. So. No. I'm gonna be mad the whole time though. No.
Because now I have to think about, can I get in for an appointment to fix it?
There's a whole thing,
it's
right?
A lot.
And the fact that you're sitting there for 24 hours, not with your nail too. That's the problem too. Like, I'm gonna be sitting here looking like this is look. This is what happened. This
like
this
I'm a ghetto.
Right. I'm a ghetto. Right.
Ruin the whole trip.
The whole trip over my nail being broke. Yeah.
Right. Ruin. That's it.
The first thing I said to him when he was like, we're gonna like, let's go camping, and I'm just like, so I would have to cut my nails for this. He's like, probably. I'm like, these are my real nails though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
He's like, okay, we'll just wait and plan the trip around when you cut your nails. I'm like, okay, perfect. Maybe in 3 months.
Oh shit. Well, at least it'll be nice out there.
But I told him, I'm like, I don't want to go when it's like super hot because I don't like to be hot, and I don't want to go when it's cold. So it's like
right in the middle.
Yeah.
He's like, why are you being so complicated? You're so easy with everything else, and this sounds complicated. I'm like, because I don't want to do it.
Exactly. I did go hiking. Hiking was nice.
Yeah, hiking is fun because you do it early in the day, you get it over with, you go back home.
No,
yes,
that sounds like sweating.
Yeah. I went in January in north over there. I forgot, Bear Mountain. That's what it was. Mm-hmm. So it was actually
You went hiking nice at Bear Mountain.
Yeah, I did the easy route. Easy route was 3 miles. That shit took us like 8 hours.
Who the fuck hikes at Bear Mountain?
Great. Like, and literally, not 8 hours.
I'm from the Bronx, so the fact that you went all the way to Bear Mountain to go on a fucking hike is blowing my mind. The only thing I've ever done at Bear Mountain is have a fucking picnic.
Oh, I know.
Like, who the fuck? literally goes
Yes.
hiking at Bear Mountain.
I know. It was beautiful.
You said
That was my first and only time hiking.
8 hours. I want the easy trail. Give me 30 to 45 minutes.
So that's what they said it was supposed to be. It was supposed to only be 30 minutes.
When did you do this?
It was like 3 years ago. I think it was because we took our time too, so it took so long, and that's what made it even worse. We were literally taking our time, taking pictures, and then stopping, and so it took forever. Oh my god! I was like, "This was easy trail. Why? Why did we do this? What the fuck?"
I didn't even know hiking at Bear Mountain was a thing. Like, I just thought people go there to have picnics and have family time.
No, there's so many trails. It's ridiculous. It's beautiful though, and the scenery was nice. You know, I love a good scenery. Okay.
I'm confused by it. Like, you see my face, like literally. I'm like, Bear Mountain is like, we used to go there just to like sit outside and eat food.
That's the other area. That's that little area there. That's nothing compared to
not a little area.
Bear Mountain.
It's a huge place.
I know, but Bear Mountain is even bigger than that, girl. Look at you. I can't.
I can't grasp this.
We go on to so many subjects.
Oh, no, you're fine. You're fine. That makes it, like I said, this makes it, like I said, the free flow, the freestyle.
Yeah.
That's so much better.
I just learned something new about you today. Like, just random walking.
I'll send you the pictures of it. It was beautiful. I never will do it again, but it was beautiful.
I have 2 more questions, and just to let you all know that you all have inspired me to start a segment. We're gonna get to that in a minute. So I want to get to this part because your episode, and like I said, I'm not a crier. I don't get emotional, really, you know. But the episode when you all were talking, you know, I don't know, Simone, I think you were the one that cried, but you all were getting really, really deep, and I was in the car with my wife, and I'm just like, I really want to listen to this now. I'm like, because it was really good, but I want to ask this because my brother passed when he was 16. Even even up until today, and it's been 22 years now, 21, wow. 22 years. So I just want to ask you, how do you all deal with that? You know, like I said, for me, it's been 22 years, and I tell people, I said, you never completely get over it. You just learn how to, I guess,
live with it.
Yeah, live with it, or compartmentalize, or and things like that. So how do you all deal with, the things that you were talking about, later or at this present time? How do you all deal with that, that emotion and stuff?
So that episode, I actually was keeping it together. It was Christy that was crying. Okay. I was actually surprisingly keeping it together. I don't know how I did that. That's that a different kind of love episode. Yes. Go ahead though, Christy. Tell them your side.
No, you answer. How do you deal? How do you keep it together?
Okay. So
this is what you do when you don't want to feel. This is what she does. She deflects. So you're gonna tell me, how do you deal?
So my father died 20 years. This next week, it'll be 20 years. Right. He passed away when I was 13. So even with him passing away and it being 20 years, and I feel like I was 13 years old, so it wasn't, I didn't get to know him as much as I could have. So, but even that still hurts in a way. But my husband will be passed away. It'll be a year in June. Okay. And that feeling, I some days are better than others. Mm-hmm. I feel like I am getting a little stronger as time goes by. But the problem is, and I think it's because it's the beginning, I actually am looking, that date that has happened, I'm looking for it now. Okay. If that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, it's March something. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I have this amount of time when June comes. Mm-hmm. Like now this for some reason. And I guess when my father passed away, and me being so young, I never really thought about that. Mm-hmm. But honestly, though, for the last couple of years, I have been thinking, I'm like, oh, it's March. I have to remember that this is the time that he passed away. But when I'm now with this June coming up, I'm like, oh my God, it's with my father. It's just because I want to make sure I celebrate him with this June coming up is because I'm like, I'm not gonna literally do anything that day. Nobody even better call me because I'm gonna be in an emotional wreck kind of a way. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, how am I gonna handle this? Like, we're actually taking a trip in June, and the guys that we're taking a trip with, they were like, how about June 20 something? I'm like, no. I'm like, no, we can't do that week. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, no, because I already know. And it's just like everything is surrounding that day now. Like it was surrounding the birthdays, it's surrounding Christmas. Like
the first are always hard. The first are always hard.
And that's what I'm saying, right? The 20 years is like, I don't know. It's like, you know, it's happening and you know what it is and you still want to celebrate the person. But I guess because I'm still so fresh with this, it's like that first year stuff is like, oh my God. It's like, what am I going to do?
You'll be fine. You just got to honor his memory, talk to him, like.
Right. Yeah. Well, and honestly, it still feels like I live with the person too, because I'm like,
oh, his stuff is
literally in his room right now, his man cave room, recording this. Like, it's like he's kind of still here in a way. And it's just like, fuck, how am I gonna do this? I think losing a child for your mom, I can imagine it. I could not even imagine. I'm sorry. I couldn't even imagine how it was for that person. Even losing a sibling, again, would be horrible. And losing a parent is horrible. You know, losing my spouse is a different kind of feeling. But I think what takes a toll on me is the fact that I have to deal with more than anybody else right now. Like, his parents can sit there and not have to worry about what to do with his things. I'm worried about everything right now. I worry about his bills. I'm like, I'm like, I had to do his taxes today. It's like, I have to worry about so fucking much. It's like, I can't get past any of this. Like, it's like, when am I going to? And I think that's the hard part right now. I don't know how my mother dealt with, we talk about it sometimes, but I guess she was so long ago for her that she doesn't, and also they were divorced at the time too, but she still dealt with more of his things. But it was just like, now it's just like, I don't even know where to start with anything at all. Yeah.
What
it's
about,
rough.
What about you,
for me, my mom was my best friend. Like, she was, if you see her, you see me. When I'm at work, like, she would call me at work, she would FaceTime me at work, and everyone knew her, so how do you replace your heart? You can't. You just have to honor it as often as possible. And that's what I try and do every day. I just try and honor her and remember her, and I try and just laugh. Like, I feel her around me all the time. So, like, when I feel her in the room, I'll let her know that I feel her. I let her know that whatever message that she's trying to leave, I'll let her know, like, I get you, mommy, I'm listening. Because if we pay attention, they're always giving us a message. We just have to pay attention. And I'm so big in spirit, and I've found a way that just because that physical relationship ended, I've kind of tuned into my spiritual side. So I have a more spiritual relationship with her now, so that, when she's around, I can feel her, I listen, her and I talk, like, we'll watch TV together. I sound like a fucking psycho, but it's real. And Simone knows it's real, because, like, one day I was just, like, watching something I knew she would enjoy. And I'm sitting there and I'm like I just felt a way, like, I felt cold and tingly. And I'm like, why am I feeling like this? And my phone rings. I'm like, mommy? And then Simone calls. And then I'm talking to her and I just bust out in tears and I'm crying. And I'm just like, this is so weird. She's like, what's wrong? I'm like, I couldn't even talk because I was so caught up with all this emotion. So it's just me now honoring her spirit, and letting people know, like, she lived, and reminding people, because I have now, since she passed away, I have so many friends who's had babies. My brother and sisters both had babies since she's passed away. And I don't want them to forget. I want them to know that she lived.
Yeah.
And you come from this amazing person. So I kind of want to remind everyone every day that this amazing lady lived.
Yeah.
That's all.
Wow.
Yeah. Clearly I love her a lot, because every time I talk about her, I cry.
You do.
I knew it would invoke some emotion, but I didn't,
No,
Oh yeah, no.
you don't understand. Like,
This is the thing. We want to talk about it because it's it's therapeutic for us to get all these emotions out. It is, but we are just not over it, and you would never, I don't think people understand it. They're like, why don't you get over it? Like, it was this amount of time, and you're just like, you can never get over something that you can't replace. Like, literally, this piece of my heart is gone and I can't replace that. It's not rebuilding itself. So I can't let it go. I'm sorry. So no, I'm not sorry. Like, you're gonna deal with this. This is the new me.
If you don't want to be bothered with it,
right?
Go away.
This is the new me.
And it's so funny with death. Like, I don't know if you experienced it, because for you it's been a while, but like, people literally, you lose a lot of people around you because people don't want to deal with your emotion. Right. And it has, like, I can't control if I'm having a good day today or not. Like, this is, I don't want to be sad today. I don't want to have a bad day, but I want a friend or people around me who are gonna try and pick me up. Not necessarily like try and make me happy, but just be like, Christy, do you need a cup of tea? Like, I don't need much, like just simple things. Like, I had a friend, this girl literally would just send me like a coffee from Starbucks every now and then, just to lighten my day, just to make something a little bit easier. You don't need much. You don't need to run away from people who've experienced loss and who can't, because when you're hurt like that, like, you can't explain what you need because you don't know. Right. You just know, like, even with Simone, like, when her husband passed away, I didn't call her and be like, oh my God, girl, what happened? I'm like, how can I help you? How can I support you? Right. And that's what people fail to realize. Like, I don't want to be a charity case. I don't want your shoulder to cry on, because I might not cry today. Today, I might just be angry. Today, I might just be mad as fuck that this.
I was going to say this, right. There's the thing. There's so many stages to it. I actually had a guy tell me, like, he's like, well, you weren't acting like this in September. And I'm like, yeah, because I was so numb. Like, you don't realize that I wasn't a person. I literally was just moving. There was nothing to me, and I'm totally different from that person I was in September than I am now in March. Like, this is the thing. You don't know who I am because you keep putting me in that area that I was in September. I literally didn't even see any light at the end of my tunnel. I thought that this was it. This is over. Like, life is done, period. Like, but you go through so many stages and there's no time limit to when you will recover. Like, who knows when you will?
Yeah. I think that's the part that a lot of people miss. And even though it's been so long for me, I'll give you all a story. And I told you, I make jokes when I feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But I'll tell you this, for me, and like I said, doing the podcast is really, really therapeutic for me. But when my brother passed, it was, like I said, it's been 20 something years, but I still find myself at times, I could be doing something to come on the radio and the tears just come down.
It takes you back.
And I'm just like, damn it, why? And for me, it's always when I'm driving and I'm just like, oh, not now, not right now, but you can't control when those feelings are gonna come.
Yeah.
And, and shut them off. But the funny part is, after my brother died, and everybody get a kick out of this that knows me, after he died, I was sitting at home watching TV, and I'm watching The Lion King. And when the father got killed, when Scar killed his brother,
listen,
I lost it. And I'm just and I'm like, it's a fucking cartoon. I'm like, what am I doing? I could not get myself to stop crying. And I'm just like, I'm like,
but no, that shit is real, because you think about it, it's like two men. It's like, was he your younger or older brother?
Younger. He was 16.
It's like, in your mind, you think, God, I should have protected him. I should have saved him. What could I have done? Like, that shit takes you to a place where you just mentally don't think like, how did I end up here?
Do you mind if that happen?
I get the traveling thing, because traveling was really hard for me, for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, it's because that car traveling that's your private time. That's your silent time. Like that, it's like something happens when you're in transit and you're vibing by yourself. The music is playing. Like, I literally developed the worst anxiety. I could not take the train to work for almost a year and a half after my mom passed away, because I would literally barely make it. I would literally fall out crying every single time. I was taking a cab to work all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you mind us asking what happened to your brother?
Oh no, yeah, no problem. No, he had a brain tumor.
Mm.
And it was crazy. And it's, you know, it's when we first found out about it, I mean, like I said, I tried to find the silver lining and everything. And for when we first found out, I was down in DC and my mother called me, you know, all hysterical on the phone. And I'm just like, what the hell is going on? You know, grew up in a house, single mother. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, my mother's hurt. What the hell? So then, you know, we go back home and they didn't give him a long time to live, but he actually ended up living another 3 years.
Wow.
So it was just like, okay, cool. And I will say this, the one thing that I hold on to that I say haunts me, it was the night that he passed. I was supposed to, you know, my mother and I and other family members took turns staying with him in the hospital. And the night that he passed, I was supposed to be there, but for whatever reason, my mother was like, no, you know, go hang out with your friends. You know, you're doing this, and that. And I was just like, okay. At first, I was like, no, I'll go stay. She was like, no, you know, go hang out with your friends. You haven't seen them for a while. And she was there that night. She left to come home, and one of our other family members went to give her a break. And once she left and got home, is when we got the call that he passed.
Mm.
So it was just like, and I once again, I'm upstairs sleeping, and in Jersey, you know how the house Jersey, how the houses are first, second, third floor. I was
Mm-hmm.
on the third floor. So I answer the phone and I just hear my mother screaming. So I come running down the stairs and you know, by the time we got to the hospital, they told us it was like, you know, it was nothing else that we could do.
Yeah.
I just had to bring myself to the point to where I was like, you know what? He was tired of fighting. He
He
fought.
was tired and he didn't want you to see him go.
Yeah,
Exactly that. Right.
That
Your
like something
mom
similar
felt it.
happened to me.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something similar happened to me.
And I told my mother, I said, you know what? I said, he got to see you. I said, what I wanted to be there. I said, but he wanted to see you
Yes.
lost. And I said, even I still wrestle with that. Like I should have been there or I wish I was there, but I don't know how I would have reacted
Right.
if I was there. So
While you watching him slip away. Like
Mm-hmm.
because that was my thing too. Like I told my mom, like I always like she would go up and down and everyone's like, oh, she's gonna die today. I'm like, she's fine. Stop talking like that. She can hear you. And you know, the night that the morning that she passed away, I was supposed to go to the hospital that night because she was struggling. She was in transition. And I was supposed to, I wanted to go, but I had been working like a 9-day stretch, like straight, nonstop. And I was just like, my brother's like, she's stabilized, just go ahead home, go in the morning. And I'm just like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, she's good. And I called, we had round the clock here. Like I had someone staying with her at night and the lady's like, oh, it's fine. She's resting now. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go home and go to sleep. I literally got in the Uber to head to the hospital and I changed the address because I'm just like, I need to go. But something is just like, you know, something, just go. You haven't eaten all day. Like just, it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. Just go home, take a shower and go to sleep and get there first thing in the morning. And I took the shower, but I couldn't rest. I was so restless. And one of my friends called me at like 4 o'clock in the morning and I screamed at him so bad and I started to cry, like, why would you call me? And he's just like, I'm so sorry. He's like, I'm like, I was just terrified about the phone call. And I'm just like, it's like my heart, every being in me knew that she was letting go this morning.
mm-hmm.
And 7 a.m. they called me and was like, she expired. I'm like, I'm literally yelling at the guy on the phone, like, why would you say this to me? Like, expired, like she's a fucking box of milk. Like, and everything in me is just like, I was supposed to be there. I told her I would be there.
Mm-hmm.
And she knew that I could not handle being there. So she
Yeah.
made sure, because my aunt was there and everything. And she would not let go unless she was by herself. Even the lady who we hired her to take care of her, she wouldn't let go. She didn't want anyone to see her like that. She waited until she was by herself to let go. They know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, it's crazy. But like life and death is just like, it's so weird when you look at how things play out and how things fall into place. Like this, in a way, they still take care of us while they're letting go because they just know like I want to honor myself in death. Like I want to die with some respect sometimes, you know, is what some people do. And I feel like when people are that connected with their family, they try and give their family the respect to remember me this way, not this way, you know? And I think sometimes that's what they do when they're in transition in a particular way. Like, I want to be remembered as this living, breathing, like amazing thing, not like, don't pity me.
Yeah. You know, I didn't think about that because my husband passing away, he was in the house when it was happening. And then when the ambulance, literally the ambulance coming, bringing him into the ambulance is when he let go. He didn't wait. We were waiting for an ambulance for 20 minutes and he would not let go that entire time. And I didn't think about that. Yeah. Like he like
protect us. They're protecting us, you know. And it sounds selfish, but you all understand what I mean when I say they're protecting.
No, trust me. Like, you wanting someone who's sick to live is selfish. I had to deal with myself with that. Like however she would have, if she would have lived sick forever, I would have taken care of her forever. But I had to stop being. That was just a child. That was me being a child, and you know, me wanting to hold on to my mom however I can have her. And I had to realize, like, you know, it's just, we have to realize the relationship is going to change. Yeah. They're still there. Like our loved ones are here right now as we speak about them. And this is how we keep them alive, that we have to keep on remembering them. We have to let people know that they lived. We have to honor who they are. We have to laugh with them when we get a funny memory. Like, just like they're right there with you, like laugh with them. Like, I had to get to that point. Like, even though I cry, it's not out of sadness anymore. It's out of like, I just can't have the real thing anymore. And sometimes that's okay. Yeah. It's just, it's selfish. Like, wanting someone who's sick to live is selfish. And sometimes it's just like, I don't care. That's just how we are. We're human.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say, because for me, and I'll wrap it up here so we could get to the, you know, so we could get to
Let's get to some fun, because this is way too serious. But I'll say this. Not what I signed up for.
But I'll say this. For me, I know it was selfish on my part because it was just my mother, my brother, and I. So, you know, it's just me and my brother. So once he was gone, it was just like, I mean, I was in my 20s, but it was still like, oh shit, you know, I'm by myself now.
Yeah.
I have him to talk to, and you know, he wasn't around. You know, he didn't get a chance to see. He did get to see from up above, but he didn't get to see, you know, his nephews being born and, you know, my wedding and things like that. So, and I'll wrap this part up by saying, you know what, I'll take a shot to our departed ones. And
yeah, I still have some left.
Pour out some for the people who weren't here.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, we don't waste liquor. They'll understand. We can't pour it on the ground.
No, not on the ground. We got to put it in our system. Funny thing is, my husband actually never drank. So you're like, bitch, the fuck?
Right. I'm with a shot of tequila, bitch.
Right. You're taking it for me. Like, oh my gosh.
So this is the portion, you know, we get to the end of the show that you all have inspired. So I'm gonna tweak the name at some point, but since you all are the first ones that I'm doing this with, I'm gonna call this story time. Ooh. So I'll start just to give you all an example of what I'm talking about. You all to give me a story about something funny or weird that happened while dating or in a relationship. And this is the example I give you. So when I first moved down to the DC area, and where my good friend here is, he knows exactly what I'm talking about. So I moved down to the DC area, and I don't know DC that well. So I'm going to see this girl, and you know, I'm driving to her house, and I call him, and I'm like, "Hey, I'm over by, you know, Greater Southeast," and he was like, "What?" He was like, "Where are you?" So I tell him the block that I'm on. He was like, "Oh shit!" He was like, "Get out of there right now." He was like, "You don't want to be over there. You still got your Jersey tags on your car." He was like, "They're gonna come after you." So I'm like, "Oh shit! All right." So I pull out of there, back reverse all the way back out the block because I was like, I don't want to go down too far and U-turn. So I get to the girl's house and we're talking, and you know, my first time really out in DC. So we're talking, we at her house, And, it's getting late. She was like, but why don't you stay? I'm like, all right, cool. Growing up, I didn't stay at people's house. Everybody was welcome to stay at my
West
house.
Indian people don't do that.
Exactly. I didn't stay at anybody's house, but they could stay here. So I'm at her house, and I know her, but I don't know her that well. So we're talking. And one of the last things she said to me that really fucked me up, she was like, yeah, my baby father just got out of jail. And I'm like, fuck you that for? So I'm sitting there. So we go laying in the bed with her, and nothing happened. Thank God it didn't happen that night. So we lay in there, and she popped up, and she looking out the room door, and her room door looks right into the living room. So she looks down the hall. So the first time she did it, I'm like, all right, it's nothing. So she did it again the second time. She did it a third time. I hit my man up. I was like, hey, look, if something happened to me, this is where I'm at. I grabbed my Timbs, tied them up. I sat on the bed all night like this. And she popped up one more time, and I said, fuck this. I put my coat right next to the bed. As soon as the sun came up, I shook her ass. I woke her. I said, hey, let me out. Out the door. And I was like, you know what? I don't know what it was about, but I said the fact that she kept.
Yeah, that sounds like somebody got keys.
Yeah.
God.
But you know what? I made it out of there, and I didn't see her for a while. I did go back over there, but after I told her, I was like, what the hell was all of that about?
Right.
Oh, nothing, because you keep popping up looking out into the living room like, is this dude gonna come break the door down? Whatever the case is, but it was scary for me.
No, like, shorty, you have shit going on. Don't be invited.
Right. fucking like acting like Snoop Dogg for fucking Baby Boy.
Yo, I can't. Oh my God. I definitely don't have a story like that.
Wait, let me see. I got a story to tell.
As long as it's funny. This is story time. This is our first one.
I only have my Snapchat story.
Hey, I'll take them whichever one you want to tell.
Okay, I'll go first then. So I decided to get on a dating scene and go on to I think it was Plenty of Fish. Yes, I did Bumble. Mm-hmm. Got a stalker from that, so definitely got rid of that one. And I went on Plenty of Fish. Got this guy. He was super cool. Oh my God. He was probably the only person that I even spoke to on there. There was, mind you, a gang of guys. He was literally the only person that seemed decent enough. And I was like, oh my God, you're it. Like, we could be friends, mind you, at least. He was super cool. Like, we were talking every day. He would, like, the conversation was just conversation. It wasn't just sexual in the beginning anyway. We were talking about like maybe a week or so. Anyway, so he decides, Chrissy came down and he's like, oh, you're going to be in Atlanta. And I'm like, and I'm actually an hour and 20 minutes from Atlanta. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to be in Atlanta. He's like, okay, I'm 30 minutes from Atlanta. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, maybe you could come see me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to want to leave my friend, she just got here. So I don't think we'll be meeting up. But maybe you can meet me in Atlanta if that's the case. He's like, nah, you could leave your friend in, because we were staying at a hotel. He said you could leave her and then you come see me. I'm like, no, that's definitely not gonna happen. Like, I'm telling you straight up, like, I'm not leaving my friend. Like, come on. Like, whole like friends before these niggas. Right. This shit is right. Okay. So I'm like, no, that's not happening. Anyway, the next day, like, I would wake up, we're drunk I'm still drunk.
It was a really rough morning.
It was a really rough morning. Text messages after text messages, like, how can you do this to me? Like, you were supposed to meet me. I didn't see my kids, my daughter, because of you. Like, I'm like, nigga, I didn't tell you to be a bad father because, like, like, what you mean? Like, I literally told you that I was not leaving my friend. Like, what are you talking about? Like, he's like, no, but I expect you to just come see me. And I'm like, well, you expected it, but I told you I was upfront with you. Like, I don't understand. So fine, whatever. We get past that. A week later, he's like, well, not even a week, a couple of days later, he's like, are you gonna come see me? And I'm like, well, after when I bring her, and I'm like, I'll try to come see you when I bring her. And he's like, okay, cool. And I'm like, but her flight got canceled because it was snowing in New York. So I'm like, I can't see you. He's like, this is what you fucking do. You don't fucking want to come see me, blah, blah. I'm like, sir, hold on. Like,
whose man is this?
Mind you, we've only been talking like 2 weeks at this point. point. I'm like, I was like, I told you I would try to come see you. It's not my fault her flight was canceled. I'm not gonna make an hour and 20-minute trip to see you, dude. I'm sorry. Like, relax. Like, anyway, long story short, I tried to I was like, listen, I'm sorry, I can't talk to you anymore. Like, because you obviously have your own issues. Like, that's it. Because he was one day I woke up with her there and he had sent me a Snapchat of him like smoking hookah and drinking like 20 shots of him doing this, like back to back to back. And I'm like, are you okay? Like, something's wrong with you, right? So I'm like, listen, you're obviously going through your own thing and I'm going through my thing, so maybe we need to just like let this go. So he sends me a clown emoji, right? Because I'm like, listen, have a good life, like, right, I'm a clown. Okay, cool, whatever. Delete Snapchat, whatever. A week later I go back on. This nigga's still sending me. He was still sending me Snapchats of him. I'm like, sir, what the fuck?
You both
listen.
I'm like, I told you it was done. Like, why are you still sending me Snapchats of yourself? Like him at the Super Bowl and shit like that. I'm like, like, what the fuck is happening? This is why I don't do those fucking dating apps anymore. Like, he ruined it for me.
Oh, girl, then you're gonna get that.
No, I don't want it.
I'm gonna tell my porn star story.
Yes, go ahead. I told the young boy about this story.
So like online dating, and so I see this guy, like this guy sends me a message, and I'm just like, this guy looks like somebody I know, like he looks familiar. So he's a very popular porn star, very popular. And I'm just like, this can't be real. So I'm like, let's indulge. Let's see what's going on. So we exchanged phone numbers back and forth. So after like 2 weeks of messaging or whatever, we set a plan. He's like, I'm going to send a car for you because I live in Jersey City and he lives in Manhattan. So he's like, I'll send a car for you. I'll pick a restaurant, make reservations. The first day we had planned, it didn't work out because I don't know, I wasn't feeling the vibe and I didn't go. So then finally the Friday came and I decided to go. He sends a car for me and it drops me off at the restaurant. He's not at the restaurant. And I'm just like, okay. He's like, I call him and he's like, hey, I'm just finished up a meeting. I'm getting dressed. And I'm just like,
wait, what did he say? What did he say?
He's yet to tell me what he does for a living. When I ask him what he does for a living, he says that he is a model and he is into production. And I'm just like, bro, like you're a whole porn star. Like
I was like, oh, that's definitely not nigga.
I can literally Google like mad of your videos right now.
Come on, sir.
So, and I've asked him because like, I'm very clear when I'm dating, like what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a serious relationship. He's like, the industry that I'm in, a lot of women don't take me seriously. And I'm just like, I just want to see if this is really you. We video chatted and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, this is really the guy. Go to the restaurant. This nigga has me waiting for like 35 to 40 minutes before he gets there because he's like, my meeting went a little long. And I'm just like, but he's like, I always get like, people always like put me in a box when they know that, because they know that I'm a model or whatever. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Like, it's easy to kind of put you in a box. And like, he like the conversation between us was great over the phone. In person, he was just such a fucking creep, like talking about my lips and my mouth and my boobs. And I'm just like, sir, you're not looking for a wife. You're looking for another fuck. Like, it was so awkward. And he'll like send me messages he's still messaging me, by the way, because I refused to go back out with him again. It was just so weird. Like, he was just so oversexed that I'm just like, how can you want and he's like, I do a good job of separating my business and my work. And I'm just like, it was just so weird because I was really hoping that it was gonna be like a normal type of situation because a part of me just did it to see if it was really him and to see if maybe he was more than just, the videos.
Say, okay, granted, I'm dating. I don't want a serious relationship. Chrissy does want a serious relationship. I just want to know, would anybody have fucked him? Because I kind of probably would have. I'm sorry. I want to see what the dick does too.
I low-key wanted to know, like, is it really just an act?
Have you seen the videos? Like, my God.
When we're off, I'll tell you who it is. If you watch porn, I'll tell you.
Yeah. When you stop pressing record, we'll tell you. Because I'm sorry.
We'll stay on for another couple minutes after I stop.
Yes, like I mean, listen, the D was probably too big. I probably wouldn't be able to take it, but at the same time, I probably would have. Just saying.
I just wanted to try. I just wanted to know if it was what it was.
Real quick, whatever.
You wanted to know.
I'm like, what's her? I'm like, oh, the porn star. Yes.
You wanted to know what it was like without all the editing and everything.
Yes, I wanted to know if it was really what it do.
I'm still here for it. I don't know. We're a mess. I'm sorry.
You know what? But I do really, really appreciate you all coming on. This was fun.
My gosh.
We will do this again.
Yes, this was great.
So much for having us, Ringo.
This is so good.
I appreciate, all of the fun we had, and then
that you made me cry.
Not disrespectful way, but the downer part of it, and then
it was a great balance.
So
great balance. Yes.
We appreciate you also. Let the people know how they can get in contact with you all, your social medias, and when you all are posting and things.
Yeah. Well, so we randomly just go live. It was like usually we go live for our followers to show them, we're here for them, and we take a gang of fucking shots, no matter what. Okay, we have a great fucking time. You can catch us on the Ladies Lair podcast.
Yes.
Instagram.
The Ladies Lair podcast on Instagram.
And then ladies_layer or layer_ladies at Twitter. Not really great with Twitter. Sorry, guys. YouTube is definitely the Ladies Lair podcast. Please go on our YouTube. We're trying to push that up more than Spotify and Apple, but obviously we're on all fucking platforms. I mean, we're a great time. Just come chill with us and see what it is. We're trying to go live at least almost every other Tuesday.
Every other week, yeah. We don't want to overkill everyone with us, but we just want to make sure that you guys remember, hey, these two beautiful girls are still here.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. Right. We have a great time. We're real, and we try to, be the best that we can. Which we are. So cool.
I definitely appreciate you all, and I will take one more shot to
yes.
I'm here.
I love you,
Ringo. Your wife is gonna love you tonight.
Girl, it's Monday.
What does that mean?
He's trying to go to
sleep. Closet, take in the bathroom.
He wants to go to sleep. He's like, "Fuck, I gotta go to work tomorrow."
Oh no, hey, ain't no.
You gotta take that lady in the bathroom.
Tonight,
the best 10 minutes you got.
I'll knock on wood. I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Hello.
Well, thank you all.
Thank you. This was great.
This was so good. Thank you so much.
Thank you all. So we need to talk 23 and signing off now.